ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for clicking on. A little something to start us out here on a Saturday night, heading into Sunday morning, 12:04 a.m. on the eastern part of the United States. And we do thank you for clicking on. Hello, everybody. Um, that was not David Rydell. That was not Telescope. Um, was that Santa? Was that Santa working on something to possibly replace the reindeer, or in case the reindeer stage a work strike or something like that? Again, hello. Thank you all for coming on. It is Late Night America. It's the American Doofus channel. Speaking of Telescope, I'm going to be talking about Telescope coming up here in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I've got one little short thing I want to share with you real quick. I hope you'll enjoy. If you like trick shots, you'll like this. Yeah, there we go. Little trick shot specialties and a little camera crash at the end. Again, thanks for clicking on. It is Late Night America on the American Doofus channel. And I'll hop over into the chat here in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get into the what the mainstream media considers the headlines breaking news wise. U.S. grants Chevron a license to pump oil in Venezuela. That's from the Washington Post. NBC News says police identify youngest Virginia Walmart shooting victim as a 16-year-old boy. Um, we had that a couple of nights ago, I believe. CNN investigators have received more than 260 digital submissions in the probe of the Idaho, the four college students murdered in Idaho. NBC News post Thanksgiving travel could be hampered by severe weather across the entire United States. The Guardian, early voting begins in Georgia Senate runoff after the state Supreme Court cleared the way. And Axios, Musk is, quote, fine, end quote, with Trump not using Twitter, and he would back DeSantis in 2024. So Elon Musk in the news headline wise, and we'll talk more about him coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And before I hop into the chat, I want to make everybody aware of something. Those of you watching that are not aware of this, um, earlier tonight, our man Telescope, frequent guest on the show, friend of the program, he had an episode that I highly recommend everyone witness that has not heard what really happened with the young girl, the stepdaughter, and with the person that goes by the handle Bandit. Uh, we've talked about this on the show many times, and the police reports came out, were made public. We referenced a site where they were read. I did not play that on here. I did not read it myself on here. However, I did read it myself. I couldn't. It's just to me. It's disgusting. It's degenerative. It's depressing. It's has the potential to trigger a lot of people. Um, Telescope bravely read the entire thing, or as much of it as he had. It's not clear where a segment or two might have been left out. I'm not sure. Um, and I would recommend you go to Telescope's site. The link to this episode is in the description in this video. It's at the very top. It's the first thing in the description is a link to this site. Um, and kudos for Telescope taking the time and the emotional energy to read that out, so that those that some people try to explain things away by saying, "Oh, it was a one-time thing, and it's all a lie, and it was just a one-time thing because of trying to get back." Uh, this went on for a long time, and the court stenographer that took this down, I'm sure, was troubled as well. But the court stenographer um, laid it out in such a manner as there's absolutely no doubt what was being described. And again, thanks to Telescope for putting this episode together. Again, you can find it, and I don't care if you're a 1776er. I don't care if you're not involved in any way. If you're not involved in any way, don't get any more involved. Don't go to that. Don't go and listen to this, because no. But if you have been following this for a long time, maybe hearing this you'll understand the anger of those that have been in such staunch opposition to 1776. And before I get to the bookmarks and before I get to the other stories here, let me hop over into the chat and go down and say hi to everybody. GA from CA, hello. Hi, Bunny. L. Smith. Telescope, how are you, ma'am? Again, kudos. You're making me want to put on my Santa hat. Again, at the beginning of the episode, that was not Telescope. That was not David Rydell either. Mo, how are you? Mo, hey Mo. Lonnie, and easily distracted. Hello from this, I know. Hey Mater. Jeff, what's going on? Sassy Pants, good to see you. Hope everyone had a fulfilling day of feast on Thursday. Hi, Jules. Faye Allen. Okay, Faye. Hi, Shannon Leslie. Hello, Lois. I make games and spam chats. Dean Wall, how are you? Hello, Alice. Katrina. From this I know says, very thankful to Telescope for being willing to read it. Couldn't have been easy. The affidavit isn't sealed. The name is redacted. People need to call the courts themselves and stop not telling the truth. Yeah, I couldn't have gotten through it. It made me, when I read it again, it's been several weeks back. I got angry. Rugelin, how are you? Thank you for clicking on. If I missed anybody here, Jules, Ryan, Leva, hi, how are you? Jules, it was difficult. Here's Telescope. It was difficult. Thanks for the support. It was rough, and the internet needed to listen to it. I believe in victims' rights, and they have a voice too. Absolutely. Uh, okay. Hi, Laura. Yeah, I can. I can understand why um, people think that telescope's an enigma to them, but uh, the one thing you got to remember is the most important thing. The most important thing is you've got to be honest with yourself, with who you are, and when you're honest with yourself, and when you're good with who you are, you're who you are, and in sometimes people are going to really agree with who you are, and sometimes people are really going to disagree with who you are. So, um, so you become an enigma in at times, and I can understand that. We will not stop from this, I know. Faye Allen, how are you? Okay, let's get into the. While it is still an ongoing entity, let's get into the Twitter bookmarks. And we mentioned the Georgia runoff. Early voting will start Monday. Um, and this is Reverend Ralph Warnock, the current Democratic senator in Georgia. And obviously we're not playing the audio, but he walked in and the place went nuts. And they're all there to watch the uh, who was it? Georgia, and I don't know. Georgia going to whip up on somebody today. Um, Confederate flag guy. This is a quote. Confederate flag guy showing up at our election denial party is making us look bad. End quote. And that comes from the guy wearing American flag as pants. And we do have, we've got the video too. Let me clear this off real quick. We've got the video of what happened out in Arizona. This is, again, they're protesting that the election was rigged. Election deniers, and here's the video. Um, they want to demand a new election and that be held on December 6th. Takes a lot to put an election on, just if anybody's wondering. A guy showed up with a big Confederate flag. Organizers are trying to get him to leave, and he is arguing that it's not racist. So, again, they were expecting okay, let me get down here because I got one more. Here we go. This is what happened. This is that protest, and the guy showed up with the Confederate flag, and so it became, you know, if you just see that part of it, you think, oh my gosh, this guy's interrupting this massive protest. He really wasn't. The guy hadn't shown up. It wouldn't have got any more coverage. It may not get any more coverage than here on Late Night America, but if that guy hadn't have showed up and there hadn't been a little bit of conflict, a little bit of drama, then there wouldn't have been any coverage at all. This of course is Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of the former president of the United States, and he has very close ties with potential enemies of the United States. Let's just leave it at that. For those of you that, and I want the Hunter Biden thing to be over with. If he's guilty of something, put him in jail. I want it to be over with, but you're overlooking what's going on here. All right. In this picture, one person is looking out this direction. The other person is looking over this direction. One of them is watching a soccer game. The other one's looking at something else. And just something to think about when you are calling out for the laptop and the head of Hunter Biden. Don't get lost in what this guy's potentially up to. Okay, now we get into something I thought might go away. I thought I thought the whole Kanye West thing would just, it would be a thing for a really brief amount of time, and then it would dissipate, if you will. That is not going to happen. There's been a lot happen since I was last on, since we were last together, and a lot of it has to do with the former president of the United States and with this person. And we're going to start here because this is the first thing that came out. All right, the first thing that came out was as far as from the former president. The first thing that came out this past week, Kanye West called me to have dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Shortly thereafter, he unexpectedly showed up with 3 of his friends, whom I knew nothing about. We had dinner on Tuesday evening with many members present on the back patio. The dinner was quick and uneventful. Then they left for the airport. Okay, that was the first thing that came out, as well as a denial that Nick Fuentes was not at the dinner. It appears Kanye West is looking to disprove that. And indeed, this is Nick Fuentes, by the way, for those that don't know. He has promised the most racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, Holocaust-denying speech in all of Dallas this coming weekend. So, there's that. This is where it says Kanye. It said Kanye was attempting to disprove that. Kanye disses Trump, unleashes bombshell 2024 campaign videos. As I said, I thought this would all dissipate. No. Instead, Kanye West is running for president in 2024, and he was at Mar-a-Lago to ask Trump to be his vice president. Yeah, if you haven't heard that, yeah. So it's going to get interesting, really interesting. Kanye's advisors took aim at Trump after videos were posted. Trump world is in crisis tonight. Trump would like you to have a civil war so he doesn't have to go to jail, America. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. This is his Thanksgiving night quote. This is his message to America on Thanksgiving. Give me freedom or give me death. Similar to John, the first commander of the United States Navy, was give me liberty or give me death. So give me freedom or give me death. Yeah, he's ripping it off a little bit. According to Newsweek, yes, indeed, Trump did not mention Thanksgiving or America or fellow citizens in any of his many Thanksgiving posts. Okay, we read the first one. Here's the second one. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was asking me for advice concerning some of his difficulties, in particular having to do with his business. We also discussed, to a lesser extent, politics, where I told him he should definitely not run for president. Quote, any voters you may have should vote for Trump. End quote. he refers to himself in the third person. It always cracks me up. Somebody with so much self-importance, they refer to them, instead of saying he should vote for me, he should vote for Trump. Anyway, we got along great. He expressed no anti-Semitism, and I appreciate all the nice things he said about me on Tucker Carlson. Why wouldn't I agree to meet? ? Also, I didn't know Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a fairly significant contributor to Trump's social media network. Just so everybody knows that little fact as well. So it's going to be really interesting. Again, Kanye West and he debriefed basically his version of everything that happened, and how much he is associated with Nick Fuentes. It's just going to get a little weirder, as I said. Record number of women will be elected to Congress this year. 149 women will serve in the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, but women still only make up just over a quarter, 1/4 of total representation. And my pillow guy has consulted with God, and I question whether there should be a big G or a little d G here. He said yesterday he needed to consult with God, and apparently the Lord has spoken. Mike Lindell announced he has been drafted by his fans and supporters to run against Ronna McDaniel for the Republican National Committee chair. And again, he had to pray on it first. He prayed on it and announced that he's going to, my pillow guy is going to try to run the Republican Party. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Again, this was the first story that he did nothing but attack judges and the Department of Justice, and give me freedom or give me death was his main quote. And finally, South Korea's President Yoon warns of crackdown on striking truckers. Possible rail strike coming to the United States right in time for the holidays that could possibly jam up a supply chain that is already dealing with drought in the Mississippi, with massive protests in China, and with inflation worldwide. The women of Afghanistan continue to lead protests. As I said, protests going on in China over COVID, and there's not a lot of peace anywhere in the world. This is France 24 correspondent Layla Odal, who was heckled, verbally assaulted by Israeli settlers in occupied Jerusalem because she was speaking Arabic. So that would be like if I was out doing an IRL, an in real life. Let's say tomorrow night, Monday Night Football is going to be from Indianapolis, Indiana, as the Colts host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's say, because I've been thinking about doing this, let's say I went down there before the game and I was doing an in real life, and I was just doing what I do. And there were people there that I thought might speak Spanish, so I started speaking Spanish, and a bunch of people gather around me and get angry with me for speaking Spanish. Well, that's kind of what's happening here. And let's go to the audio.
الذي فقط بلغتنا العربية شكرا جزيلا لك ليلى عودة سنعود إليك بعد قليل المتطرف الذي لا سنعود إليك ليلى بعد
I wanted to pause it there and I missed it because there was something I wanted to show you that I wanted us to see. Let me back it up just a little bit to right there. Okay. Yes, that is a Trump shirt. Just something to think about. The United Nations has decided to set up investigation into the Iranian protests. So the UN getting involved, that will probably mess things up. FUBAR, beyond all recognition, if you know what I'm saying. And coming up here, next thing we're going to take a look at, I'm going to get back over to the chat real fast here beforehand, but we are going to do reaction. We're going to do reaction video because I have not seen this yet. But coming up, we're going to look at fights. We're going to look at people fighting over crap in Black Friday. But before we do, I'm going to hop over here into the chat and say hello to everybody that I've missed. Sissy McLeod, Ohana, Sherry Gonzalez. Hi, Lori Arnold, ACB, Hot Mess Summer. Hello, Guy Bassett, Ryan, Max Smith. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And we do appreciate you clicking on Ruth Sanders. Okay, am I missing anybody? It doesn't look like it. Hi, Brooke Hampton. And Birdie Boy. Yeah, I know, Ruth. There's a major Trump influence in Israel, and then Trump's son-in-law has major influence with many of the enemies of Israel. You know, something to think about. I'll tell you what. Lori Arnold has been busy. First of all, we haven't talked a lot about this because there's been a lot going on. Lori, all of the all the protective orders, restraining orders have been dropped, and Lori and Pluck the Patriarchy were faced with some local law enforcement agents I don't know what it was. I don't know the exact word to call it, but it was provocation. Let's use that word. Her voice is gone. Okay, I was going to see if Lori wanted to come up here for a couple of seconds and talk about everything, but if her voice is gone, be looking for Lori on the Lori Arnold channel. Okay, Lori says megaphone didn't work tonight. I'm guessing Lori was at the J6. You want to come up for a couple of minutes, Lori? Okay, let me do that. Let me do this. And Lori did a flag dance. Okay, Lori, there's the link to click on if you do want to come up. From this I know says, I'll send you dollars for honey. Honey. It sure helps a ton. Honey is good for the throat, good for the voice. 3 days of no talking for me when it happened. The music and dancing was great tonight. I'll have to go back and watch that. J6 had a large group today. Okay. Okay, she was sounding pretty sick, but she rocked it. Oh, I'm sure she did. We've often talked about that, about how the front line of the opposition to the 1776 movement and a majority of focus of that opposition is the fact that they are not only protecting but promoting pedophiles. So the women that have stood up, they've been fearless, they've been effective, and they have been non-wavering. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, that is solely your choice. And however, you cannot deny the fact that they stand up for what they believe in and the courage they showed in doing so. There are other ways to be heard without talking. Get creative. Michael's the U.S. Federal District Court judge. Kid said he was 18. His parents should be slapped for their kids. They took a child to a jail and idolized violent criminals. I don't approve of that. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch what happened tonight. At some point, I got to quit moving around. This camera's sensitive. She had a kid sing the song with the F-bomb. Okay. It just gets weirder and weirder. Hello, Lolo. Lolo's Lounge. That's okay, Lori. You take it easy. It sounds like you've had I know you've been busy, had a busy week, and oh, okay. I got to put these two comments up here just for a few seconds. I'm not really sure. Again, I haven't seen it, but comment number one, and then comment number two. Again, we have differences of opinions in here. Just no hate, and no threats, and no doxing. Otherwise, it's okay to disagree. Wow, that's crazy. Lori Arnold. Okay. All right. Let's watch something here together. Let's see this first. I know there was at least one shooting, and I'm not going to be showing that, but okay, no. We're not going to watch that one. How do I get out of this? There we go. Oh, it brought me down. Well, I erased too much of it. My bad. I erased what I was going to show. But I didn't know it was going to ask me. And I didn't know this was going to have commercials on it either. Yeah. I can turn it down. We'll get back to it right after this commercial break. And here we go. Commercial break's over. Again, thank you everybody for clicking on. Saturday night, Late Night America. Honestly, I wasn't planning to do a show tonight, but I watched Telescope's episode and I thought, I got to get on. I got to talk about that. Plus, I got this other stuff to talk about. And if you haven't seen Telescope's episode, again, this isn't about Telescope. It's not about how you feel about Telescope. It's about whether you want to hear the truth or not. Okay, here we go.
Magic.
Makes you proud to be a humanoid, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I never did that. I never stood in line to go into a store, let alone camp out for 2 or 3 days as some people did at one time. I don't know. Anyway, no big crowds like that in this area. Maybe our stores are greedy. Thank you, Mo. This is my daughter is U.S. Air Force vet, and my dad was U.S. Army Air Corps. There isn't one dang thing in the world I would ever want. Let me read the rest of that. To put myself through all that. Yeah. Okay. Never did that either. Yeah, that's nuts. The sneaker people camp out in line for shoes. Yeah, I know. I'm I don't have my finger on the pulse of all of that or anything like that. But yeah, when when certain sneakers are going to come out because and often they come out in limited edition. They'll stand in line. They'll stay out there all night, make sure they get their shot. That's a little ridiculous to go through all that to save a little money. I would pay $100 not to have to go through. That whole thing is ridiculous. Yes. Yes, indeed. Walmart had pre-Black Friday shopping for like 3 days before Friday. Had some awesome deals. I went to Walmart yesterday, briefly I just had to get cat litter for Doofus cat. And that's the only thing I went in and got cat litter, and I didn't realize until I got back that it was Black Friday. It wasn't early in the morning. It wasn't crowded. Maybe it was just because of all that, but I didn't realize it was Black Friday until I got back. Okay, Summer's talking to somebody else. I once waited in line for 30 minutes to save $50 on 2 Xbox games, but that's my limit. Okay, I can see that. Yeah. I can see waiting in a line for a half an hour. I know people that have, and actually I had, okay, this is, no, I'm not even going to tell you, but yes, I know people that have waited in line a long time for concert tickets. $1,800 for a pair of sneakers? Whoa. Yeah, I can't understand the fighting either. And the thing about it, I guess the thing that we should probably look at is if people are going to fight over a 45-inch television, what's going to happen when there's no drinking water or no food, if we were ever to get to that situation. And there are people in our country that do want to take us there. They want to take us to, okay, that's a good point, Max. Max Flower. People think inflation is going to continue even though it has abated somewhat. The prices are just going to keep going up, so the perceived urgency to buy now is heightened. I guess I probably should have tried to buy a new laptop. I've got to get a new laptop. The one I'm running on, the one I'm operating on, the one I'm putting the show out on, it's Windows 7, okay? It's an Intel Core 13. I think it's from 2016 or maybe it's 2011. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've got to get a new laptop, and I don't have the money to do it. But I should have probably. Actually Monday. I should look Monday, shouldn't I? Because Monday is that Cyber Monday, and that may be. Yep. Thank you, GA from CA. Cyber Monday. Yeah. Many great PC laptop deals. Okay, cool. Brad, yeah, those were old videos, and I hadn't seen it. And the 2 videos I had up, I hadn't seen those either. But those were recent videos, and because that one I had to register on, I deleted it and deleted both videos. So yeah, that was and that was in Toronto, Canada too, Brad. I don't know if you could even do that with our new economy in the state people are in now. Yeah, I really don't know how effective cyber or how effective Black Friday was. We'll find out. Lolo's Lounge, practicing, throwing elbows in the grocery store. Yeah, it's. I've seen people with cart rage in the grocery store. You know, people getting just. You know, they're angry. They come in the store and they're angry about something else anyway. And if you know if you got your cart and it's not right up against the aisle or right up against the shelves, and you know, just slam. It's craziness. Throwing elbows. Okay, I do have it. I do have. I do want a couple of things. First of all, America, land of the greed, home of the grave. I'm actually talking to somebody that knows somebody that might give me an interview about possibly getting this looked at by a movie producer. So that's, if you're into manifestations, send me some vibes. Anyway, that is available on Amazon and other places. Link is in the description below this video. And if you'd like to have an autographed copy, you can get one for only $25. That includes shipping and handling, which is about $7. So all you got to do is send me an email, americandufus@gmail.com, and $25 Cashapp donation, and we make that happen. Curtis Cardwell, thank you for clicking on, Curtis. We've been talking about a little bit of everything tonight. Hot mess, let me know. You know I'll come on your show, Summer. I don't know, you know, if anybody, I don't know how interesting of an interview I would be, but Doofus, we just email you to pay and get a signed copy? Yes. From this, I know that's all you have to do. Yeah. Email me and let me know your address and what you'd like the inscription to say if you want something. And yeah, this is my third novel. So the other two novels came out a long time before COVID and all that. So I did book signings, and normally people say, would you write blah, 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 blah. So that's what I mean by email me if there's something you'd like to have in the inscription. I got some stories, Katrina. I don't know how many people would be interested in, but yeah. Oh, I love you too, Summer. I love all of you out there, but Summer and Sissy, and there's some of us that have gone back. We go back some time, and we're part of they were on the front lines fighting, and I was just spreading the word because what was going on wasn't getting enough coverage, and we kept covering it, and we kept covering it, and eventually news started talking about it, and eventually people started paying attention, and pretty soon there was enough pressure that the government started paying attention, and the government went in there and found out that the protesters in Louisville had been right all along, and good on them. So yeah, we're here to say Ohana. Yeah, I do, Jules. Actually, I need to get a new setup, but yeah. You absolutely did make change happen, Summer. Absolutely. Freeway or hit the MF and freeway. Amazing and effective. And you want to talk about being challenged. You want to talk about going over hurdles. You want to talk about obstacles. You want to talk about threats, violence, attacks. It all happened in Louisville. Yeah. Mine is fine unless my vision is just blurry. Yes, they did, GA. And I made change happen at work today. Bottom cha. All right, Katrina, good on you. Good on you. Are there any soccer fans in here? I don't know why this popped into my head. Yeah, I came to Louisville. I was there 3 different times. But I wasn't there the 2 times that it really mattered. And those were the times when NFAC was there. HMS as a witness in the case, if I recall correctly. I don't know. I watched soccer, and I got paid to watch soccer when I was covering sports, but primarily I got paid to take pictures of people playing soccer, and not necessarily to write stories about people playing soccer because I didn't know anything about it. I watched the United States play England in soccer, and I'm sure if you grow up playing it, and or if your kids are playing it, or I'm sure there are people that absolutely love soccer. I know there are. There's a whole bunch of them over in Qatar right now for the World Cup. I'm just not one of them. I sat there for like 2 hours and nobody scored. Nobody scored anything. And very rarely did they even try to score. So I don't know. And hey, if you're a soccer person, good on you. Again, I got to quit moving around, or because I look up and I'm all blurry. There we go. Come on. Now I'm back in focus. If anyone wants to be able to watch Yellowstone, Hallmark, and many other channels right now, Peacock Online has a special 99¢. Okay. I've heard some incredible things about Yellowstone, and Kevin Costner is one of the people that I got to meet. I had a signed picture taken with him that my ex-wife set on fire. I don't know what's worse, golf or soccer. Again, maybe if I played it as a kid, or, I'd feel different about it. And I'm sure there are people that are like, how can you sit and watch an entire football game? I was a baseball with kids that played soccer instead, traveled the country and a couple other countries. Yeah. I know it's big, and I know we've got traveling teams around here. Love Yellowstone, Jules says. I've heard a lot of people say that. Wednesday was amazing. I honestly can say Roll Tide. Now we don't have Sparky in here because Sparky'd be all up in the Georgia Bulldogs. Identify as Wednesday now. Okay. Absolutely, Roll Tide. I'm loving the new Tulsa King series by the same creator. That's the one where Sylvester Stallone comes down and you guys should, yeah, he's unique casting. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Clemson lost a home game, the first in 7 years. Wow. I did hit a. I don't follow college football, but I had a friend tell me don't be surprised if Michigan doesn't beat Ohio State. So I played a 4-team parlay today, 4-game parlay today in college football. Haven't watched a college football game all year yet, but I hit all 4 games. So yeah, Stallone is perfect for the role. I like Stallone. We'll see. That may be one I have to watch. I know I'm going to have. I may be the only person in the entire world that didn't watch the Tiger King thing. Didn't watch any of it. And I didn't watch the Thrones, Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any Game of Thrones. I didn't watch any Tiger King. Normally I don't watch. I used to watch a lot of television, Survivor, and I know those. The Amazing Race. I loved both of those. Haven't watched them in a few years. Move my mic out of frame. Okay. I can do that, but I don't know. Can you still hear me? Okay. Can you still hear me? Because I don't have a meter up at the moment. Well, thank you, Summer. Okay. Tulsa King. Tiger King was funny. Squid Game was also a big one. I have absolutely no idea what that's about, honestly. You even got a tattoo? Tulsa King, I don't know what that is. Sylvester Stallone is like a high-level mobster and has to move to Tulsa for some reason, or decides to move to Tulsa, and is going to take over the city. I don't know. I was a big Sopranos guy. I liked the Sopranos. Let's see if I can do something here. If I turn that light off, maybe I'll stay in focus a little better. There. 1863 is the prequel to Yellowstone, I believe. From the commercials I've seen, it's got Harrison Ford in it, I think. Squid Games was boring until the last 3 episodes. Okay. Yeah, Max Smith, I wanted to be on Survivor. And I wanted to be on The Amazing Race. I just couldn't find anybody to compete with me back then. All right. I want to talk about one other thing here real quick, and then I'll get back into the chat, and we'll end it up here before too long. The other night, Defender Vance and AP were in the van. Again, I'm not going to play the video. Go to DOA to see the video. But all these people were all gathered down here by this tree, and Defender Vance and AP were up here in the van. They all started approaching the van, and AP and Ant drive off. I bring it up because not a lot has been talked about this, one, and number two, if AP and Ant are so dangerous that they have to get orders of restraint placed against them, why are they approaching them? Just some questions that I had that I don't have answers to. But it definitely is something to think about. Again, tonight, I'll show this one more time. If you aren't aware of it, Telescope, an amazing episode tonight. He basically read the entire case history or police log of the incident that that involves the person that goes by the handle Bandit and his stepdaughter. And I was aware that it was out there. A lot of people had not seen it before or heard about it before. So he did a service, as he said, he did it. The internet needed to hear it. And again, the link to that episode is the first thing in the description below this video. This is a little peek at something this is a little peek at a look at something that's coming up this week. I'm going to be playing this. I don't know if I'm going to do it in one episode or if I'm going to break it down because it's 38 minutes long. But I find it very interesting, and it's from the Hopi, indigenous Americans, and prophecies that their elders have passed down to generation to generation to generation. And the video is actually from, I think it's 1986 when this video was recorded. But the things that the Hopi Indians, and that's how they refer to themselves in this video. The things that they saw centuries ago, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's interesting, and it just gives a different perspective, and that'll be coming up later on this week. So that's it. That's everything I wanted to get out for tonight. You can watch AP when she's live on Twitch. You just can't type without being a member, okay? All right. All right. Anybody have any questions, comments, anything for me here as we get towards the end? Yeah, hot mess summer. The first time I saw AP, I thought I've got to get AP and summer together because it would be a force that would make things happen. You two are a lot alike, and you both remind me of my oldest daughter, who was in the USAF. Doesn't take crap, sees through crap, and incredibly strong, and at the same time warm, loving, generous, kind people. Tupelo, how are you? Tupelo, I didn't go anywhere for Thanksgiving. I didn't have anything to eat. I walked the dog and I watched football, and I did a lot of contemplating on Thanksgiving, actually, on that Thursday. I did a lot of thinking. But it was good. And I hope everybody had an absolutely fabulous day, and your fabulous times are continuing through this weekend. Wilbur, nothing yet. The appeal is in process, but there's no word yet. Yeah, summer it would. We need to have a big gathering somewhere, Louisville or here in Indy, somewhere centrally located. We need to have like a I don't, maybe call it the crap show convention from the summer of 2022. I don't know. We'd have to come up with some kind of name. Yeah, well, but we'll keep you up to date on it if and when we do get updated. We'll make sure and get the word out about Jay. It would be dangerous, but yeah, it would be dangerous. I'd love to be there filming it. You talk about content-rich environment. Summer and AP together on the streets, wreaking havoc. And by the way, Summer, I do know Summer was out today. There's a missing child in the Louisville area, and they were out putting out missing children posters. So, as I've said numerous times on here, Summer's the real deal. And honored to have her as a friend. She's got a good family. Her husband is patient, kind, loving, incredibly strong, and she's got a good family, and just shows you, it just shows you by example, persistence, and you can come back, you can survive, you can stand up, you can do a lot of things, and a lot of times the only thing holding us back is us. Just something to think about. Thank you all for being here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and take tomorrow off. Monday, as I said, the Colts are playing in Indianapolis. So if I can't scrounge up a ticket, I may be out there broadcasting, doing an IRL, just showing you tailgates and stuff. Depends on the weather and a lot of things. So let's just say I will be here Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific, 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific, 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern, our regular start time. So we'll get back to our regular schedule Tuesday night at 11, right here on the American Doofus channel. And you may see me on Summer's channel at some time coming up. You never know. Love you all. Thank you again so very much. If you need to email me, americandufus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS. And if you'd like to help support the show, buy a book or hit the Cashapp. Put $5 in and buy me a coffee. It'll all go to buying the grandkids Christmas and getting it shipped down to them. So I love y'all. We will see you Tuesday night at 11. Until then, namaste, shalom, salam, assalamu alaikum. Blessings in the name of the Most High, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, with the power of the Holy Spirit. And if you're not a spiritual person, positive vibrations, peace, most of all, love. The most important of all is love. Until Tuesday night at 11, this has been Late Night in America on the American Doofus channel. I love you all.